Okay, let me go ahead, share the screen. I can see people joining. Welcome, everybody. All right, since we have the attendees join us and we're at the time, let's just go ahead, get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our monthly Mainframe Open Education student user group. I'm Nanxi Man. I work in the Mainframe Education team at Broadcom. Today, we're having our monthly student user group. So again, welcome everybody. Sorry that I should really announce that this meeting is recorded and will be edited and uploaded to YouTube for the sharing purpose. So just to be aware of that. Now I'm going to move on to welcome our speaker today. I'm going to put this on the presentation mode, and I will hand this over to Tiso to introduce our speaker today.
Thank you, Nenchi. Hi, everyone. I am Tiso Senosha. I'm the contributor for the MOE project, and I also serve as the university lead. Today, we have our guest speaker, Devonte Hawkins, who's a fellow IBMer with me. Devonte is working at IBM as a Z-Stack technical specialist, focusing on IBM Z hardware. We worked together before when we were still Z systems ambassadors for IBM. That's how we got introduced to each other, and we found out that we have a passion for this technology and would like to share it with the community at large. So Devonte, during his time as an ambassador, he was very proactive. He has hosted workshops at his universities where he introduced most of the students in his college to IBM Z systems, enterprise computing, and the learning platform that most of us use, the IBM Z Explore. I'll move on to the questions that we have for Devonte so that we can get to know more about his journey. So, Devonte.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Devonte would like you to share your personal story with us. As I've already introduced you, maybe I missed something. You might also want to introduce yourself first and tell us about how you got into the mainframe space.
Sure thing, Tiso. And hello, everyone. My name is Devonte Hawkins, and I'm really excited to be here today because I really do enjoy talking about how I got into mainframes and how you can too. And it's really important. So I kind of like to start. Well, I kind of like to start by telling my origin story about how I got into mainframe. So my sophomore year of college, I went to one of my professors. I said, "Hey, I'm looking for new things to do outside the classroom. Do you have anything that I can possibly try out?" And he sent me an email with a bunch of links to earn IBM badges. And at the time, I was like, oh, "Okay, IBM is a pretty cool company. Why not, right?" So I started doing courses around artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data science. And this professor, he sent me the link to apply for an IBM server program called IBM Accelerate. And what IBM Accelerate is that it's an 8-week online apprenticeship program where you get to join a different track, a part of you get to join different tracks in terms of doing hardware development, software development, design thinking, sales. And it really does give you exposure to what IBM is like as a company and overall the tech field in general. And this really allowed me to network with people inside IBM, outside IBM, and then also learn just learning about how IBM works day to day as a company. And during that program, I really enjoyed it. I was like, you know what? I want to be an IBMer. What can I do to be an IBMer? So a couple months after that, when I went back for my junior year of college, I was on LinkedIn and I saw a link to apply to be an IBMZ ambassador. At the time, I had no idea what IBMZ is. I had no idea what a mainframe was. I was just like, okay, this is something IBM, why not? And since the very first day that I applied, I've just been in love with it. I learned everything from about mainframes and enterprise computing, all the different software and hardware concepts within Z, and it really allowed me to be myself in a community that was very welcoming, and I really enjoyed that. And once I started learning about mainframes myself, I started talking to my peers about it. It's like, hey, did you know that this really cool computer can process transactions fast and quickly? And a lot of people are like, what? No, I didn't know that. What's a mainframe? I thought the mainframe was dead. I was like, no, it's very much still alive. So I think that I really enjoyed developing that passion for mainframes and talking about it and being an advocate for this really strong platform. And quite frankly, I always say that mainframes chose me instead of me choosing the mainframe because ever since day one, it's always been a connection with us, and it hasn't steered me wrong so far. So I'm very thankful and very grateful to be a part of this amazing community and in this space.
So, Devonte, would you like to tell the students who are out there in the community who want to get into this programs like the IBMZ Ambassador Program, how it was like being an IBMZ ambassador and what were your most interesting moments?
Okay. I would say for those that are interested in being an IBMZ ambassador, do it. No matter what, just do it. Apply and get into the program because I've never looked back on it. Well, I think that it's one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made in my entire life so far. And it really does give you a chance to learn about IBMZ systems, mainframes, and then also network with people around the entire world. Just as Tiso said, we met in the ambassador program and I got to connect and host events with him. And it really does allow you to broaden your network. My experience as an ambassador was really good. I was an ambassador for 3 years. 1 year as an ambassador and 2 years as an ambassador captain. And what that allowed me to do was talk about mainframes with people in my university. I used to host different events, and I even started a mainframe club in my university because at my university, mainframes was not a part of the curriculum. So this gave me the opportunity to learn something outside of the classroom and be able to showcase that. And I've had IBMers come down to my university and visit and speak at events. I've hosted events for IBM Z Day with IBM Z executives, and it's just overall an amazing, amazing program. And I cannot recommend it enough for people that are interested in joining. And I think that if I didn't take that initiative to apply, when I saw it on LinkedIn, there's no telling where I would be right now. So I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to apply for it. And then also, there were previous ambassadors at my university as well. So I reached out to them and said, hey, what's this program about? Could you recommend me for it? And they did. And I think that it's just an overall good feeling to know that you're a part of an amazing program, but then also a part of an amazing community. The mainframe community is just something incredibly special. So I would say that my experience on a scale of 1 to 10, about 1,000 in terms of how great the ambassador program was. I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah, I'd second that. It was a really great experience. Like you, also myself, I got to build a community for students at my university, and they really enjoyed learning about the mainframes. Um, how did this networks that you refer to that you built as a Z Systems ambassador and also as doing other work in the community help you in your career so far?
It's been great. So, when it seemed like when I joined the IBM Accelerate program, that was like my first real opportunity to network with people because I got to network with IBMers, but then also recruiters at IBM. And one recruiter that I met during the summer, I made such an impression on her that she stayed in touch with me after the program and just continued to message me in. And when summer internships came around, I was applying to IBM and other companies as well. And she saw that I was applying. She said, "Hey, I think that you would be a really good fit for a technical specialist role. Here's a link to apply. The deadline is closing, so go ahead and apply now and get your application in. And once you get your application in, you can go through the interview process." And I ended up becoming an intern at IBM over the summer, focusing on data AI and helping clients with their DB2 software on ZOS. And by being exposing to by me being exposed to mainframes before my internship, it was really great because around my office I was known as the mainframe guy in terms of if anyone had any questions about mainframes, they would come to me. And I cannot owe that enough to my network. Just from building that network, you never know what opportunities you can get from it. And just by talking to people and telling them like, hey, I'm interested in learning this and learning that. And they may have someone in their network that they can connect you with, and it may lead you to it may lead you it may lead you to a new opportunity. So I think that it's really great to network with people, and if you're having trouble networking, just start posting on LinkedIn. Say, hey, I'm interested in learning more about mainframes. Can anyone help me in terms of determining what area I want to go to? So I think that building your network and start gaining those skills is super important.
And we are here for that, to guide a lot of students in the career path that they want to get into and share the learning resources that could be helpful for them. We open to offering you support, even though you're not part of our core team, but as a student coming from outside, we're happy to lend a hand to you and show you the way, not just referring to myself, but the whole community. And Devonte, while on that, you mentioned that you got an internship at IBM, and we know that, to get into tech, you need some kind of skills. It's a skills-based field. So how did you build enough skills to get into the position where you are a Z-Stack technical specialist?
I would say that if I didn't go to my professor and asked him for sort of extracurricular stuff outside the classroom, I probably would have 0 IBM badges or certifications. So I think that that's probably the first step if you're a university student is go to that is go to that trusted professor that you really have a good relationship with and said, hey, I'm looking for ways to grow my skills outside the classroom. Do you have anything that I can do, whether it's IBM badges or just general certifications, just something to say that, hey, you are proficient in this specific area or this specific skill. And I would say that the very first mainframe resource that I used was IBM Z Explorer. Back then it was called Master Mainframe, but now it's called IBM Z Explorer. And by earning my concepts badge and just going the extra mile earning my advanced badge, that really made me compatible because when you're applying for internships at tech companies, it's not just you applying. You're applying against thousands of other applicants. So you have to do something that makes you stand out and be compatible. And one thing for me was that I earned IBM badges. So once I earned one, I didn't just stop at one. I earned multiple through like I said before, IBM's Explorer, Interskill, and other sources as well. And most of these sources are free for students. So I would say that so I would say that you don't have to pay in order to learn. You could be able to learn the same skills as everyone else for free. And the second part of that is by posting them on LinkedIn, letting people know like, hey, I just earned this badge in this specific area. Here's what I learned in the badge course. I'm looking forward to the next badge I earn. That makes you noticeable. It gives some you have to give people something to talk about. And I think that definitely does that. So so I would say that once you're on a badge, don't just put view my verified achievement from IBM or from Google. Put put, hey, I earned this badge. Here's what it was about. These are things that I learned. I'm looking forward to earning my next badge. You know, just to keep that going. So I think that the first thing is earning the badge and going through the skills and making sure that you just don't earn the badge just to get the badge. Make sure that you're really understanding what the badge and the material is about. But then again, posting about on LinkedIn, letting people know, and just feeling great to be able to say that I am now proficient in this specific skill.
It helps to, network on LinkedIn, show other people what you know and what you're learning, because you never know who's looking for
Right.
new recruits. Yeah. So Devonte, you recently joined the Mainframe Open Education core team. Would you like to share with us how you got involved with this project?
Sure. So I heard about the Open Mainframe project before. Um, and about 2 months ago, I posted this on LinkedIn. I said, "Hey, I'm looking for new and exciting ways to make learning mainframe content more fun and engaging." Because for me personally, I'm a visual learner, so I learn best with pictures and diagrams and charts instead of just looking at a bunch of words through documentations. Like, I have no idea what this means. And then also mainframes, it's already such a heavy topic in of itself within computer science that you kind of have to learn a lot of background information in computer science to be able to learn a lot of information about mainframes. And I was just looking for ways to make it more fun and engaging, not to feel like necessarily a chore, like I have to read all this documentation. So I posted on LinkedIn, and just the comments that I got from the community was amazing. I was I was really surprised by the amount of response that I got. And one person commented, said, "Hey, you should consider joining the Open Mainframe Education Project." I was like, "Okay, cool. That sounds great." So I met with Donna and Lauren, and they really initiated me and they really initiated me into the core team. And then also I've created my own repository of like a list of badges and courses that I've completed so far. And I really didn't want to reinvent the wheel in terms of creating another resource for you to go to learn about mainframe contents. But luckily, with the Open Mainframe Education Project, we have the Git book, which is where people can contribute to, and it doesn't mean that you have to create another resource. You could just use the resource that's available here and just contribute to it. So I was like, this is perfect for me. And then also TISO, I saw the work that you were doing on the team. I was like, you know what? I want to team up with TISO and join the team and help out. So I would say that if it wasn't for me posting about that on LinkedIn, I probably wouldn't have joined the team. But I'm really glad that I post that, and I'm really glad that I'm here. So in that way I can contribute and kind of put my own spin on learning about mainframes and making it more fun and engaging and more visual.
And you broke the internet with that post. I remember the amount of attention you got. And also it goes back to you taking your own advice on being out there in the social media space, posting about what you're doing. And it goes to show that it helped you to connect you to the right people who led you to the right platform that you like the most, where you'd be able to contribute in the open source community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Devonte, you've grown with us, from being a Z ambassador to being a Z Stack technical specialist at IBM. I bet the journey is different. The resources that you used before cannot be the same that you are using now. And also would like to learn more about your role as a Z Stack technical specialist. Would you like to walk us through it on what you do on a daily basis?
Sure. So I'll go back to my intern role. So as I said, as an intern, I was a data and AI technical specialist focused on DB2 on ZOS and helping clients achieve their business solutions with that. And that really gave me a look into the data and AI sector within mainframes, which is more on the software side. And now, as my role as a C-Stack technical specialist, I am more on the hardware side. So two completely different areas, but still they find ways to intersect with each other. And when I was joining my team, my manager asked me, he said, Devontae, you already have an extensive resume. What area of the brand do you want to go to? And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm really interested in hardware. So I think I want to do hardware. But then again, I don't want to lose focus of the software either. I want to I also still want to be knowledgeable about the software as well, and just and find ways to bring them together for clients. So I think that that's what's important to me. I just don't want to be in one specific area and be like, I'm going to stick to this. No, I'm going to be I, no, I want to be broader. I want to be versatile and be able to help out anywhere that I can. So my manager connected me with a technical mentor on my team who has 40 plus years of experience within IBM and Z hardware alone. I will never forget the very first time meeting him. He just quizzed me on like a whole bunch of mainframe topics. At the end of the meeting, he said, "Hey, I want you to go read the IBM Z16 technical guide." That technical guide is 500 pages, and I'm about halfway through it, so I haven't even finished it yet. But he told me, he was like, the purpose of me telling you that was so in that way, you can become knowledgeable about the system and be able to respond to clients' questions. Because see, you may be talking to a potential client who's been using the mainframe for a long time, or you may be or you may be talking to a client who's never used the mainframe before and is new to the platform. So you have to be able to articulate the value of the mainframe, depending on the type of client. So that's really why it's important to be that technical, but then also finding new ways to be like bringing people onto the platform, but then also the people that are on the platform, make sure that they stay on the platform and don't migrate off the platform. So I had to read that red book. I am still currently reading it. And then also I knew that I knew that the mainframe space had like a lot of acronyms, but there are like a lot of acronyms that we use internally here. And I was like, oh my God, it feels like it really does feel like that they're speaking an entirely different language. And I think that learning acronyms is also important, but then again, I'm glad that we do have some resources here that list out what the acronym is and where it comes from. But I still think that there are a lot of acronyms here. So I'm still learning my acronyms, but I think that it's just really important to find something that you're curious in and learn as much as you can about it. You know, whether that's in the form of a book, a video, a webinar such as this. You know, whatever resources you can find on that topic, learn it, study it, understand it, but then also make sure that you can articulate that. Because see, if someone asks you like, "Hey, what's a CPC drawer?" You should be able to tell them in like 2 to 3 minutes about what a CPC drawer is. So like, "Hey, what's a crypto express card?" Or or tell me about the tone processor. You know, you should be able to think lightly on your feet. And I think that of course it's going to take a lot of time. But my thing of it but my thing of it is that if you stick with it and just learn it the best you can, it'll definitely come to you a lot more easy, such as um, 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 just like just like with a lot of SMEs that are here at IBM that have been in this space for 30 plus years and can be able to recall stuff on the back of their end.
One thing that, one of our core team members usually say, Paul Newton, is that if you are looking for a career, you should come to the mainframe. But if you're just looking for a job, you better look somewhere else. I think you added on to his point correctly. It's a long journey that, any student who's willing to get onto it should be prepared for all the challenges that they're gonna face throughout this journey. So yeah, for you, Devontae, you are what we consider to be a leader in this community. From the time you were in university, you ran your student clubs. Now you're still growing in this space where you're sharing your learning resources with the new to the mainframe students, or I don't know how to word this correctly, hey? I'm still trying to get to it. Yeah, but would you like to tell us what inspires you to do all of this work?
Um, Honestly, it's the people in terms of
Mm-hmm.
this community has just been so welcoming and so great for me. And
Mm-hmm.
and by the time I was a senior in college, my LinkedIn network grew a lot in terms of just connecting with the amazing IBMZ champions and other people in this amazing community. A lot of people know me by name that I didn't even think knew me. They just saw they just saw the amazing work that I was doing on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, I know you're Devante. I saw, I see all the amazing things I see all the amazing things that you're doing at Albany State, and I just want to say thank you for what you're doing." And I would say that's really important to me. And I know one thing for me is that I want to help people, but coming up behind me. So anything that I can do, whether it's being a mentor, providing resources, or just being someone to talk to. I think that those are all qualities of leadership, and I think that it's definitely made me stand out a whole lot more. And I just really enjoy the people, and then also the mainframe. It's so important to what we do in our everyday lives, and just to say that and 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 just say that I'm a part of that, it's truly amazing. And I wake up every single day with a smile on my face and like, you know what, I'm making a difference in the world today. I'm going to do a good deed. I'm going to help someone out. And I just think that that's really important. So I would say that if you are striving to be a leader in this space, just do that and just come forward with your best foot forward, put forth the energy, the time, and the passion. And I think that you can definitely do great things in this community.
And you'll definitely get a lot of support. You know, the the seasoned mainframers love the new to the mainframe, so we welcome new faces all the time. So, Devonta, what would you say the do's and the don'ts of those new to mainframe?
Okay. My first do is to
Mm-hmm.
is to do what you love. You want to be happy with what you're doing. You don't necessarily want to be in a job or in a career field where you're not happy because your productivity is much lower and you're just not in it for the right reasons. So first and foremost, if you love mainframes and you're passionate about it and you develop love for it, do it. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what, just do it. And I would say that you always want to be happy with what you do. The first don't is don't feel like you have to know everything. I was definitely like that in terms of just my first time being exposed to this space. It's like, wow, there's so much going on here. And you almost have to ask you almost have to ask yourself the question in terms of where do I start? Um, I would say I would say that you probably I would say that you narrow that down in terms of, do you really want to do software? Do you want to do hardware? Okay, well, once you find out what you want to do there, dive deeper into it. And you definitely want to develop a curiosity for learning new things, and not being afraid to learn new things, because as we know, technology continues to evolve, so we have to evolve with it. So don't be afraid to take a new batch course, or to read a new book, or just learn something new every day. I think that that's the other thing too. So definitely don't be afraid to learn something new, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because we are here to help people, no matter what the skill set may be. I think that I can respect a person if they reached out and asked me for help instead of not asking me for help at all. And I think that that's something that's really important. So I would say that if you're new to this space and you're not sure exactly, what to do, reach out and ask for help. And no matter how long it takes, just as long as you ask for help, I think that that can really go a long way. The other do is that do network and connect with people as much as you can, whether it's through online events or in-person events. Just go out, network, talk to people, let them know what you're interested. Well, yeah, let them know what you're interested in, because you never know what doors it can open for you. And the other thing is that do connect with me on LinkedIn, and I would love to be a resource for anyone who's new to this space or someone who's just looking for some clear direction. And I definitely hope that I definitely hope that my story inspires a lot of people. And yeah, I would just say do it. If your heart's in it and your mind's in the right place, go for it.
Thanks a lot for the advice, Devontae. I'm sure the students will really appreciate it, and all of those new to mainframe. Now that you are part of the MOE core team and you're one of the contributors, what kind of contributions are you offering to this project, and the whole different areas of this project that you are involved in? If you could please tell us about that.
Sure. So I am on my way of earning my contributed badge. It's in my queue. So that's definitely on my list of badges to get this year. And like I said before, the content that I really want to create is something that's really visual, and a person can be able to learn it in probably about 5 minutes. And if they were in an elevator with someone, they could be able to explain to them what they wanted to what they learned about. And I think that that's really important because when you're talking about skills, you definitely want to develop a knowledge base in terms of, okay, I have a basic knowledge about this topic. If I want to learn more or go more technical, I can do that. But at least I can say that I have a knowledge base about this topic. So in that way, if you're ever asked about this topic, you can say like, yeah, I know what ZOS is, I know what DB2 is, I know what this is. And I think by developing that, it can really give you some clarity on what exactly you want to do in mainframes. So while I was an ambassador, that's what I did. I just built that knowledge base. And I think by contributing to this project, it will allow people to do that in terms of looking at a one pager that talks about enterprise computing and say, hey, I didn't know this about enterprise computing, but I do now. And I can be able to go tell my friends about it, go tell someone at a coffee shop or a bookstore, someone in an elevator, and then also it opens up the door for them to learn more in terms of like, hey, I found enterprise computing really exciting. I want to learn more. What else does this entail? I think that it it allows the person to ask that question of curiosity in terms of like, I want to learn more. Where do I learn more? Okay, I can go to this resource, or I can go to this Red Book, or I can go to this documentation site. And I think that that's something that needs to be unlocked within everyone. And I think that by doing it in this format, contributing to this project is definitely the key to that. So I'm really glad to be on the core team and be able to contribute and be able to point people to this resource and say, hey, do you want to learn this specific topic? Go here, read about this. And if you want to learn even more, go to this link or go to this resource. And I think that that's important to me as an individual. And I know that I'm still new to mainframes myself, so it feels really good to be able to contribute to this and be able to help people, but then also grow my expertise, as I become an SME in this space. And I think that that's overall just really important. I'm really happy that I'm able to contribute and make a difference here alongside the core team. So I'm thrilled and honored to be a part of this. Truly, I am.
We are happy to have you also, Devontae, on our team. You've brought innovative changes, and we like your contributions. And also, again, thank you for agreeing to be a speaker for today, inspiring the students and showing them the way, that they could get into this space also. I'd like to hand over to Nancy to tell us more about the MOE project at large.
Sure. Thank you, Devontae. Thank you, Tisa. This is really wholehearted sharing. I myself enjoy this so much. Like I actually take notes about those shiny words you use and you talked about. I feel the same passion that if I'm at your age and want to start my career one more time, I definitely would take this route. Okay, yeah. So we've been talking about Mainframe Open Education project for a few times. And what is this? Why this could help us learn and build up our first step in the career journey, or many steps in our career journey. I'd like to invite my manager, JJ Lovett, to introduce briefly to you what is Mainframe Open Education and what is the Gitbook project we're working on.
Thanks, Nancy. Hey, everyone, JJ Lovett. I'm another member of the core team for Mainframe Open Education, a component of the Open Mainframe project. And, one of the things that I loved about the interaction between Tiso and Devante was how often the word community came up. And that's one of the things, having been in and out of the mainframe ecosystem as a part of my different roles throughout my career, that's one of the things that has been completely evident of mainframers as opposed to a lot of the other different areas within IT. And mainframers are a true community. And one of the things that I think, as a part of what they were talking about, like where Devante said the mainframe is dead, I think people thought it was a bit of a closed community, and that couldn't be further from the case, right? There's tons of room for people to come in. And so, part of the mission for MOE, or the Mainframe Open Education Project, is, as a mature market, a mature tech space, there's so much information out there right now. And the thing is, it's in little bits and pieces here, there, and everywhere. And it's because a lot of it has been aggregated over time. Perhaps people haven't gone back to revisit it. It needs to be revisited. Or very often, for the seasoned professionals in the community, a lot of that information is trapped inside of their heads, right? And they haven't found a way to share or express that yet. So that's what we're trying to crack here with this, is how do we get all of that information, whether it's new information being shared or information that already exists somewhere, how do we aggregate that together to make it widely available, no cost, easy to access, easy to consume, which can be a challenge. As Devante said, sometimes reading the manual over and over again just doesn't break through. It's a lot of information. Things were, sometimes over-explained or explained differently in the past. And so really sort of carving this out and getting it in a presentable fashion for people that are new to the mainframe today, whether they be coming right out of school with the student user group, or if they're transitioning from another role within IT, or coming from a completely unrelated field and looking to explore a new career in the mainframe. That's what we're trying to do, is figure out what are those paths forward, what are the things that you all want to know, and how do you want to learn them, so that way we can build this together. And to what Nancy was saying, the primary effort is right now around Gitbook. All these other efforts around the student user group, the community meetings, that is all the wrapper for the primary effort of how are we starting to aggregate this information and bring it together and then validate it with the people coming into the mainframe. That's what we're really looking for, is that interaction or engagement with everyone on this call and beyond, to make sure that we're doing that in the best possible fashion, the best possible way. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Nancy so she can explain exactly what we're doing in terms of content and where we're going in the future.
Thank you, JJ. Yes, I volunteered for MOE to be the content editor, or one of the content editors for the Gitbook. So far, we are definitely in our phase one, that we listed out 5 chapters as our content. After you pass the welcome chapter, which tells you how to log in, how to contribute, how to earn a contributor badge, which bring back to what Auntie mentioned, this is definitely a badge you want to earn, because this is a badge you literally earned by contributing content into the Gitbook. So far we have 5 chapters. We started slow and with very fundamental introduction. What is a mainframe today? And then followed by fundamental technology, the roles, the role shows, and career paths you can potentially build it from there. So we're looking for anybody who's interested in contributing to any of the content, or even at the point you're not so sure what you can contribute, you can definitely go in and see what has been contributed in there. And then you will see it's actually a very hands-on project. We're not looking for those very technical detail knowledge sharing, but anything. It could be a journey, it could be the resource you find to be very helpful for you to present certain knowledge point or point of view. Anything could be helpful for anybody who's seeking for those resources. And we also have future topics and suggestions listed, but we're also open to any topic suggestions you want to bring to this project. And that said, we do have Himanshu here today with
Angie?
us. He is, yes.
Pardon the interruption. Your voice is
Oh.
breaking up a little bit, at least for me. You may want to either.
Oh.
Yes, same here. The voice is breaking. Sorry.
Right. So you might want to turn your video off for the remainder of your speaking part, just to save the bandwidth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see there are very little activity on my audio bar here. Okay, can you guys hear me okay or better now?
Yes, it's good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. With that, I'm actually plan to hand it over to Himanshu. He is one of our recent content contributors to the Gitbook project. Why don't we have Himanshu share with us his experience joining and start contributing to the Gitbook?
Yeah, I'm happy to share my experience of working on Gitbook and how I started contributing and try to improve and modify the projects and the documentation of the Open Education project. So basically, from the start, I started researching about the mainframe, and that's how I just to the documents part of the project. I tried to understand mainframe myself and try to make the documents so simplified so that other mainframes people, other new developers can understand the mainframe systems and let's operate in all the systems very easily. So starting from the documentation part, as I said earlier, I got to know about this from LFX website. I tried to understand the mainframes. I tried to modify the documents. So in that process, I joined the community. I mailed, as I said, Nancy to join to the Gitbook. So about Gitbook, it is I think one of the easy tool or one of the easy way to modify the documents to work on the documentation project, right? There is some other also in the market, like I said earlier, Docusaurus, but I think the Gitbook is very easy to use, very easy to work upon for the non-technical background as well, right? So in the process, I analyze the whole documentation. I try to understand myself first what the mainframe is, what the component of the mainframe is, whether it's a software part, whether it's a hardware component, whether it's architecture and the basic utility tools which are being used in the mainframes, right? So that's first I try to understand, and I thought it's a best way to contribute for the community that if I do understand the whole system, so I can modify the documents so that the others can also understand it very well, right? So in the process, I first modified the second chapter as mentioned of the Gitbook of the project. So I tried to give the overview, the intro, what the things used in the mainframes, and that's how I contributed in that's what my first contribution in the Mainframe Open Education project.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yes, this very moment, I'm just grabbing the MOE Gitbook link and put that in the chat. And hopefully you all get the chance to click on that and just take a brief look at it. To join that as a content contributor, please leave me your email address and I will follow up with you and take you in and assign you either the commenter role or the editor role. So that way you can start contributing. All right. Oops. This gets a little bit louder on the Himanshu side. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. And with that, this is all the stuff we prepared for everybody today. So do you have any questions at this moment? you would like to ask either Devante or Tiso, JJ, myself, Himanshu, any of us can answer any of your questions. Please just go ahead, ask them. And I'm gonna share Devante's LinkedIn link here in the chat as well.
You know, Nenshi, I had another question for Himanshu. I'm not sure if he's still in the right space to be able to answer it. I was gonna ask him what was his first opinion or impression of the content that we have on our Gitbook as new to Mainframe, because he did mention that he had no prior knowledge of the mainframes before. And you know, he got introduced to this technology through our Gitbook. So I'd like to know what was his first impression.
Yeah, I got the question. Sure. So yeah, from a new user or new mainframer like me, how easy. Yeah, I would like to say about that. So it was easy for me to understand the vision, the missions of the project, right? So how it is to be used, how we want to make other students, teachers, or retired peoples to share about the mainframe systems in the community, right? So it was easy for me to understand all this stuff. But yeah, we need to modify the part where we are trying to make people understand about the systems which are being used in the mainframes, right? So how the internally, I don't know whether we want it to share or not, but if we want to share, it will be good to modify the parts of the components that how the originally mainframe is working, how, yeah. So how the internal mainframe system works, what is the hardware components, what is the software components, what is the architecture, what is the different utility tools are being used in the mainframe systems. So in the process, I also raised a request. So I think there are certain I mean fields where the documents can be modified. I also discussed with the TSO in the community group. So that's even in the third chapter in the rules and categories. I think there can be we can improve a lot of it there, like asking from the people like Devonte who has a lot of knowledge about the rules and the categories in the mainframes. So I think. Yeah, they can be. It is good. Definitely, the documentation at this state is good. But yeah, if we want from the community help or from the people around the mainframes, we can make it better for all the new people who want to join it. So this is what I think.
Thanks a lot for your feedback, Himanshu. We'll definitely have a look at it. I saw that you've been also sending change requests to the platform, some of which I got to approve. So, by the way, I'm one of the reviewers for this project. So when you send through your change request, I'm the one who gets to look at them. Our project is open source, and for you to be able to contribute, you gotta be invited first. Obviously, our link is public, and we invite anybody who wants to contribute. As Nechi has mentioned, that she's the one who's gonna categorize you, whether to be a commentator or reviewer or a contributor. So that's how we work. And as soon as you see the changes that you want to make to the content that's already there, you send in a change request or make a suggestion through the comments that I think this part of the book can be made better, or this part is not worded properly. You could word it this way. So we really appreciate all those contributions that are coming from the community, and would like to see more of them coming, be it from the students or the seasoned professionals.
Yep, absolutely. We
Yeah,
all
sure.
heard so we welcome all of you and for your future contributions. All right.
Awesome.
Any other
Thank you,
questions?
everyone.
Even I'm happy to contribute more and more and do a lot for the documentation part. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, everyone. If you have anything else, you can follow up with us either through LinkedIn or the MOE page. And we'd be happy to work with you moving forward. So thanks for your time and attention today. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you all. Thank you,
Thanks,
Devante.
everyone.
Looking forward in
Yeah.
the next student user group webinar.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm happy to say.